This deck is another variation on my Hopeless Green deck, on the Hopeless Green deck. It's not my idea, though, so it's just the Hopeless Green deck. For this version, I run 2 Floettes and 2 Flabébés, 4 Nakadas, 4 Shedinjas, 3 Pincers from Breakthrough, and 2 Sceptile EXs. Now, what this deck's main focus is just getting damage counters on your Nakada and Shedinja, and just getting enough damage counters on the Shedinja to start hammering in on the opponent. That's the goal here. I have many ways to do that. One way is Pincer here with his overhead throw attack. For 1 energy, it just does 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. So hit your Nakata with that, and he's just a basic, so you can just throw him out there to tank a little, take a damage, just substitute card, just so the opponent will take a prize card, but nothing major really went down, so he's a little clunky with the heavy retreat cost of 2, but I still think he's very useful just because he's singular and he does use grass energy, so I think that's pretty neat there. And I also run 2 Sceptile EXs. Mainly the Sceptile EX is there to take those hits that the other Pokemon can't take, and also to in the beginning of the matches he can damage the opponent and just put on some damage there, and while you wait and set up your Nakadas and stuff. So he's pretty useful in that regard. So he can attack, and he can also stall and stuff like that. So, and he only has 1 retreat cost and 2 energies here on his Unseen Claw and Sleep Poison. So I thought he was and he has done a lot of work with this deck here. So there's that. And what really I think makes this deck stand out, in my opinion, is I run 2 training centers, so my Floettes and Shedinjas can get plus 30 HP. So you don't always need to count on the Floettes in this deck. You do not need to count on the Floettes. So you don't really, you can make them a priority or not. It just kind of depends how the cards were drawn, really. Really kind of your main hand and the hands, the first couple of hands, draw supporters cards, That's, I think, more or less going to dictate what you kind of do with this deck. So whether you go for what kind of style you go for with this deck, I think it's fairly versatile in what you can do. You can get a Floette out, or you can put a training center out, or whatever, just so you can get that extra, so you can get Shedinja to 30, 40 damage counters on him, so that you can knock out those EXs. And I do run 2 of these. Whoops. 2 Magma Bases, just to, get those damage counters on Nakadas, when I put them on the bench. And I have 3 different ways of getting damage counters on my Nakadas. One way is Pincer with the overhead throw. My second way, Magma Base. And my third way is the Rainbow Energies. I run 3. I'd suggest running 4 for this deck. So yeah, I suggest 4 of these. Very much so. 3 or 4. 4 probably being better. I don't run 4 because I didn't feel like getting another rainbow energy. And I think I run 3 sycamores. I run a good bit of draw support. I don't know if I have 2 or 1. I don't. But I don't know how many that is. Oh yeah, I run 3 sycamores. I thought it was, yeah. I run 3 sycamores in the deck. 1 birch, 1 shauna, 1 Tyranno. And I run 1 Cassie. That is a lot of draw support, I think. And with this deck, you will definitely be needing all the draw support you can get. And also I run a Brock. That way you don't have to worry about discarding your cards or your energies. You can just use a Brock. Put the Shedinjas back in your deck that you discarded, the Sceptiles, the Pincers, the Floettes. Doesn't matter, because you got the Brock script there. And I run a Ninja Boy. You know, I think he offers a lot of options. A lot of neat little options you can pull on the sly. I only run 1, but I think he can pull in some options there. So I thought he definitely helps with the versatility of the deck. And just keep in mind he only is used for basic. So if you want to replace that Shedinja or Floette, you can't with this guy. So just keep that in mind. Oh, and with this guy, if you say you have Sceptile EX or a Pincer on the field, and they've been there for a turn at least, and you use this card on them, and you switch it for a Nincada, you can evolve that Nincada on the turn that you played this card to get the Nincada. So you can do that, which I thought was pretty cool. A little tidbit information. And I run a Buddy Buddy Rescue. That comes in handy more than you might think with this deck. I run Enhanced Hammer, one of those, just to stop the opponent. 2 Crushing Hammers. And I run 2 Energy Recyclers, because you'll be discarding cards and stuff with the Sycamores, so Energy Recyclers. I run Acrobike and 2 Bicycles. And a Field Blower. It's kind of, if I had nothing better to do, just can always at least try to stop the opponent from setting up, or at least give me some extra, give me a chance of winning. And I do run 1 switch for the Pincers, or any other situation comes up. So yeah, that is this deck. And the trainers. Hold on. I'll repeat the trainers again. I run 1 Birch, 3 Sycamores, 1 Shauna, 1 Terriano, and I run 7 Grass Energies. I only run 7. And I have no way to pick out energies from my deck. The only way is to draw support. That's why there's so many in here. So this deck, it can compete with the bigger decks out there. Again, it can compete. That's all I'm going to say about it. I think it can compete. You have to work for it. You really would have to play your cards right from start to finish, I think, to compete with the bigger decks out there. I think it's doable. You know, but it's no easy task. You really have to be on your game, and you really have to put a lot of it to chance. You really do, and probability. Chance and probability is really what rules this deck in the end. And you know, in my opinion, that's what makes it so fun. So, you know, uh, so that's this deck. It'll be my last variation of the Hopeless Scream deck because I'm kind of tired of it, to be honest. But I think I played 100 matches with the Hopeless Scream deck in its entirety, and I've won 45 out of the 100. So, but that's with all my variations combined, though. So this variation, has won more than lost, but I can't say I went up against the best decks. See, I'll show you. It's won more than lost. Wins since last edit, 11. Played since last edit, 12. So, you know, but again, I don't think I went up against super good decks. A couple of guest players and stuff. But there were a couple of good decks in there. Or through the entire, so there are a couple of them. So, yeah, there's that. And honestly, I don't know why it says 12. I don't know what I edited. But you're going to have problems with the deck. I mean, don't really expect to win with it all the time. You know, I would say, because you're not. It's just the deck. You know, but it can win. You know. But, you know, it's going to take a lot of practice with the deck, a lot of learning the deck, a lot of, you know, taking chances and taking some risks with the deck. So, yeah. So there's that.